I'm Andrea Rodgers for WICR News with two breaking stories. Rutgers coach Mike Rice has been fired after a videotape aired him physically roughing up his players and using gay slurs against them. Allie O'Connor gets campus reaction from Iona students.
Did you guys hear about Mike Rice, the Rutgers coach, getting fired?
I did.
And how'd you hear about it?
I think I heard about it over the internet.
And if you were a player on the team, would you just let it go like they did, or would you confront someone about it?
I would probably talk it over with my teammates and see how they felt about the situation, but most likely at the end tell somebody about it.
What about you, Allison?
Definitely. I agree with Abby. I think that the issue should definitely be addressed, and it was completely wrong of the coach to treat his players like that.
And as part of the rugby team, how would you react if that was your coach?
We wouldn't be very happy, right?
No, yeah, we'd be very offended, and we wouldn't take that. So,
yeah, that'd be really bad.
Thank God we have a great coach, and he wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think as players you would have confronted someone at first, or just let it go like they did?
Probably would have confronted him.
Definitely right.
Yeah, I would have told Brother Devlin probably.
Right away, ASAP.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Mike Rice situation and how he got fired from Rutgers?
Yes, I do.
And how'd you hear about it?
Actually, I was informed by my coach. We had a 7 a.m. practice, and I hadn't heard about it the day before. And he walked in, and he was like, "You guys should be thankful that I'm not mean like the Rutgers coach." And then, of course, being a girl, I was like, "What's going on?" But turns out I did see the video later on that day, and I was just in shock that that went on.
And as a player, how would you react? Would you confront someone or just let it go like they did?
I think as a team, we would go together to administration because I don't know how long that could last, especially the verbal abuse. That could really stick with an athlete forever.
And have you heard about the Mike Rice situation getting fired at Rutgers?
Yes, I have.
And how'd you hear about it?
ESPN.
And what's your reaction if you were a player on that team?
If I was a player, after a few times, I probably would throw a ball back at him or something like that. Yeah.
Did you hear about the Mike Rice situation at Rutgers?
Yes, I did.
And how'd you hear about it?
From the news.
And what's your reaction to it? If you were a player on that team, how would you react?
I personally think they're paying them to play there, so I think it's okay. I just don't think that he should have said such harsh things to them or thrown balls at them, but being a little rough I feel like is okay. So especially competitive sports is like that in general, so yeah.
Did you hear about the Mike Rice situation about how he got fired from Rutgers?
Yes.
How did you hear about it?
It was on the news.
And if you were a player on that team, how would you react? Would you just let it go like they did, or would you confront someone about it?
If I was upset, I would probably confront someone about it, like if I was close with him, but if not, I would probably just let it go. I would be upset that the other coaches got fired as well.
And if he was throwing balls and cursing at your teammates, how would that make you feel?
Upset. I would be mad at him.
North Korea raised its missile on Wednesday. However, the U.S. doesn't understand why it hasn't been launched. Is North Korea actually going to fire, or are they trying to mess with the United States? Iona students share what they feel.
Have you guys heard about the threats North Korea is posing on us?
Yes, I have.
And are you fearful that something could possibly happen?
Personally, I'm not, because I'm really confident about the technology and advanced skills of the United States, and I feel like we could definitely handle any attack that they brought our way or any threat that they throw at us because we're so much more advanced than them.
What about you, Katie?
I agree with her. Actually, in history class, we've been talking about it, and my teacher stated that he said that we never actually terminated whatever had happened in the past between North Korea and South Korea. So there could be a possible threat, but he doesn't think that, or what he's reading as well and hearing about it in the news, is that North Korea actually has the technology that we do, and that the technology they have to threat us with isn't as bad as they're saying that it is.
And have you guys heard about North Korea and the nuclear threats that they're posing?
Yeah, it's all over the news.
And what's your reaction to it? Are you fearful that something might happen?
I think there's always going to be that level of fear. I think to a certain degree, because they've been making these threats for a while, it's kind of like a boy who cried wolf situation. There's always the chance that it will happen. And I think we do have to be prepared for it and do take them seriously, but I don't think you have to live your life in fear, because then they win, and that's kind of what they want. So that's kind of my stance on it.
For WICR News, I'm Andrea Rodgers.